Hello, world. Welcome to All Good Choices with
Cheryl
and Haley.
We're
Episode
back.
12, baby. Let's go. Had to take a little week off.
It wasn't going well. We were like sick and not sick, and then just time was not good.
Let's be real. We were binge drinking. Well, not me. I was just part of the
Eli
vibes.
had a final. It was just a lot.
It was
going on.
a lot happening in a week. We tried to film like 3 separate times. It just was not working, girls.
Yeah.
So, but we're here now. Just a little update, reminder, public service announcement. Oh, I didn't make it the past the 2 minutes. Sorry, Eli. BS. So the episodes are still not on Spotify and Apple Music. Let's talk about it. So turn on the YouTube notifications for this channel so you know when we post every week. Mm-hmm. We'll post more on the socials. All that good stuff. So
we're in the process of fixing it. It's just taking a lot longer than expected.
I don't really know what the issue is, but we'll figure that out behind the scenes, girl.
Yeah.
We'll fight who we gotta fight or something.
Right.
It's so annoying. But so for now it's on YouTube, but I feel like it kind of gives us a little bit more leeway to do like more visual stuff, which is fun. So look out for that. But yeah. So originally, well, I guess we're still going to do it, but we were going to recap our Euphoria tier list and see if any of our opinions changed. And some of them did, real tea.
For sure.
The
last episode had a lot going on.
It did.
It was cutting to like major storylines like all at once, but in like 45 minutes or whatever. And I was like, I need more from each one. Like we need to finish one or like anything, because we were just starting a bunch. And then
I think what was like, maybe I'm just like not I'm not in a higher thinking realm as the writers of this show. I don't think I'm intellectually smart enough.
I don't really know if they're intellectually
but
that smart.
When they cut in between the scenes of like what is either like the past or the present, and then
it's hard sometimes.
Like it's the whole scene with Rue and Lexi sitting there talking, and she's like, oh, like I read through your play, whatever, like I really like it, and then it cuts to like them being in the play, actually, like them sitting on the ground, like head on shoulder vibes. That was so confusing until I went on Twitter and realized that it was like in the past.
Like she read it before Lexi did perform.
So I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this.
I know.
There has to be. But first of all, I don't really remember where. It's been so long now since we did the tier list. I don't remember where we put Faye, but she needs to move up from wherever you put her.
I think she was like mid, maybe like slightly above.
She needs to be in like the higher categories
for sure. She needs to be.
She's
in
a real
like
one.
God, not God as a woman.
No,
but God tier, or like the one
Save
below.
from a burning house.
Yeah,
she needs to be in that.
Because when she dropped the glass and she was like, I was like, finally! I remember like audibly screaming at my TV and being like, thank God, because I really thought she was just gonna like.
I couldn't tell.
I know
where she was gonna go. You know, they like throw in the.
I was hoping she was gonna pull through, and she did. Thank God.
So now I would save her life.
She's proven herself.
Ashtray.
So
I mean, death.
Like
he dies.
Just unnecessary, to be honest.
The way they wrote him off the show, I think, was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't understand why anybody would think that that's a good idea. First of all, he shot homie.
I know.
He shot
so many people. She shot so many people.
For what?
He literally shot dead like what, the SWAT team or whatever.
So many people.
Like,
it just like was so stupid. Like I feel like they could have done a better thing. Like he ran out of the house or something, and then they like he was running and they shot him.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like.
Like, why did he go like Rambo and like just fucking shoot up the whole house?
But he's just so goddamn stupid that he needs to move down for that.
Yeah, I think he's like Umbrella Academy is his new show.
Yeah. So he's just stupid.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off.
And I saw that they changed the script the night before.
Yeah, we could tell, girl.
Right.
What's the writer's name?
Fez was, I don't know, but the director's name is Sam Levinson.
Okay, it's him. Because he apparently thinks he could do it all.
Sure.
If you're listening, Sam, what the fuck was that? Mm-hmm. I hated it.
I know, because Fez was supposed to die. But then he was like such a fan favorite that they didn't kill him off, which I appreciate. But like, Why did you have to do such a fucking whack
I would have respected that. Shows that kill off their main characters, I respect that.
I agree, but he like adds like a sense of like normalcy. I feel like that they haven't been able to bring in with another character yet.
I guess, but like, what's really normal about him?
Like, just like the way that he reacts to things seems pretty normal.
Okay,
like how
yeah.
like situate, like, you know what I mean? He's like, okay, why are you mad about that? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, whatever.
Yeah, well, he's literally in cahoots with like the cartel or something. So,
yeah,
like,
sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But speaking of Fez, feel absolutely terrible for him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a shining moment for him acting wise. He really had to show some emotion. Yeah.
He's just a kid.
Yeah. So yeah, I just feel bad for him. Lexi should move up.
Yes.
In our tier list.
She did her thing with that play.
She still annoys me. But
and she continued it after
Cassie
ruined the fuck out of that.
Yeah. Lexi needs to move up, even though I still find her annoying.
I just like her a lot, actually. And this just solidified it even more. I'm sad that Fez did not make it to the play.
Yeah.
And I think that that's obviously gonna hurt her, whatever the fuck's going on with him.
We had some things going on.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Yeah, because she's riding on like such a high from the play, and then she's just gonna crash and burn when she figures it out.
Yeah. And then Cassie, death to homegirl. Did not redeem herself in this finale. Loki got her ass beat.
Why did she have to go up on the stage?
She just like had a mental breakdown. I'm not really sure I understand. I just don't give a fuck, really.
Like, have a mental breakdown in the bathroom, bitch, like every other person, okay? Don't go up there and storm on the stage and act like some type of way.
Though? Huh? Not that I wanted this to happen, but what would have been iconic is if the play kept going on, Cassie comes back in, walks right over Maddie, starts beating her ass at the seat.
I wish that happened, but honestly, like, that's another thing we need to get into. There was not enough Maddie, Cassie, like, end all be all fighting. Yeah. To be honest, because it's the whole season. That's literally what the whole season is about. Is like,
I wanted to see some ass.
Cassie's betrayal to Maddie, and Maddie, you're just like on your edge, wondering what she's gonna do, and just find out. What, she pushes her into a wall and like hits her a little bit like on the stage. Like, I needed more. I needed her to beat some ass for real.
Right, and she didn't.
She didn't.
So that's whatever. But yeah, Cassie deserves death. I'm hoping she redeems herself in the next season, but I don't know. I just hate her.
Well, I think they were kind of setting it up for that because like when she's in the bathroom and then like Maddie's like, it's only just the beginning.
I guess, but like at this point I just don't give a fuck about her, really.
Yeah.
Like, she just annoys the shit out of me again. Maddie, almost in God tier.
Almost. When she slammed her into that wall, I was like, thank God you did that. Like, running barefoot through the halls, just ready to...
Your school halls, barefoot.
Mm-hmm. Brave
for that. And then Maddie's friend, who we said was irrelevant.
I don't know her name, but
I still don't know her name. So I guess she's still kind of irrelevant, but I guess she can move to like.
She's moving up a little bit because she encouraged violence, and I respect that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, girl, yes.
Because Kat was like, you're better than that. No, bitch, I'm actually not. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, so she moves up, and then finally we have Elliot. Death. Elliot deserves to die. Die. First of all, that fucking song.
Like, why was it so long?
Why did they put the entire track? If I wanted to hear the entire track, I'd go download it.
Okay, agreed. And why did they, after playing the entire track, he's like, but it's still something I'm working on. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, bestie. It sounded like a full ass song, like ready to be produced and made. Like, what?
It was giving when you go on a Tinder date and then he's like,
oh my God, yeah,
let me put on this beat and rap for you. Mm-hmm. That's what it was giving.
That happened to my roommate. He was like, he played he makes, oh God, I don't even know, but like in his,
he makes
feels kind of rapping or whatever, and he like put it. He was like, listen to this. Like, I just made this when I went to New York. And she's like, okay. And then he's like, puts on another one. and it's like kind of the same vibe, and then he puts on that third song.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Whole album.
And she was like just like nodding, like, okay, cool, like whatever. And then she's like, yeah, so like who hurt your feelings? Like this is like really personal. And he's like, nah, it's not even like that. Like, you know, I just like be talking. And she's like,
me.
Okay. And he's like, he's like actively like trying to hook up with her, and he's like singing a song like about his ex-girl and like how much she hurt him and shit. And I'm like, this is how you're like getting her in the mood? Like, that's what real, is though.
This? Sometimes you just gotta pull it out of your ass. Sometimes it's like, I need to do something, girl, and I gotta lie my way through it.
I guess. But like every time it's like a SoundCloud rapper that puts on their shit, I'm like, what are we doing here?
It's like, how am I supposed to react?
I know. Like, what do you want me to critique it, or do you want me to like hype you up, or like good song and move on? Like, I don't really know.
I like, you know, I'd be painting and stuff. I couldn't imagine the first time I go out with somebody being like, here, look at my art.
Like, it's just, I don't know how they're gonna react, or like what they're into, or really
anybody
anything.
In a position to have to lie to my face. And
so open and brave in the front, because they could be like, that's the worst thing I've ever heard or seen.
Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, so that was the worst song I've ever heard.
All of that to say, it's right up there.
And he, you know,
it's right up there with that emo girl song by MGK.
Bye. What is Elliot's real name?
Dominic Fike.
Dominic Fike was posting on his Instagram like memes and stuff from like Twitter and like different things where he was like, when Elliot played that 5-minute song, and it was like me like dragging my eyes out of my skull or whatever, and he was like, I love how you reactive you guys are to the episodes.
Right. It just like, it sucks because I'm sure he had no say over that, and like, who would want to do that? And then we just have Zendaya on the side.
I don't know though. Do you think it's his song? Like,
I thought
he does make music, right?
Wrote it for him. Like, I thought they wrote it together. That's what I'd seen. I think.
So I didn't not research anything into that.
I just saw
was like,
Twitter.
This is the worst thing I've
Dominic
ever seen.
Fike either wrote it, or Zendaya wrote it, or like Zendaya Labyrinth. Somebody like in that realm wrote the song.
Okay.
But see, like, they do it so perfectly with like Labyrinth and all that when he's like, his music's on there, because they play a minute of it. Then it's on the soundtrack.
Exactly.
And then
I love that. Yeah.
Why? I don't understand why they put I don't know if they just had
so
filler.
Many other big plot lines
I
to
just
focus on.
I think probably what happened is because since they changed Fez dying, that it like messed up the whole episode probably. And so some stuff maybe that they were gonna put in got cut out, whatever, they had to fill up time.
I didn't even think about that.
But either way, that's the worst way they could have filled up time. I didn't want to sit there and watch that. I skipped over it.
I know. I was like,
I watched like the first minute, and then I kept skipping, and then it was still playing. And I
listened to the whole thing because I was like, well, what if like Rue stops to say something and it's like something important?
She's just like
the whole time. It's just him performing. Like, if I wanted to go to a Dominic Fike concert, I would. Like, I don't want to see this. Girl. I don't pay $9.99 a month for HBO.
Absolutely not, to watch a music video.
Dominic Fike's video.
Like, so he deserves death for that. Basically, he deserves death for singing an entire 5-minute long song that he's just working on, just casually. Get out of here.
That's what sent me afterwards. That's when I was like, you know, and maybe I could have respected it a little bit more if he was like, I really wrote this song for you, like, I hope you like love it or whatever. It's like still unnecessary, but it's like, okay. Yeah. But the fact that they just like played it off like it wasn't even like, I think something. It would have
been so much better to have Rue maybe like walking around somewhere, whatever, that would have pushed the plot forward, and like in her headphones, like halfway she's listening to the song.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so it's like video montage vibes, her like, I don't know what they could have done, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're the creative ones, not me.
I don't write you for you. Okay.
Notes. Yes. But if there's like a video montage, she's like walking through the streets, whatever, or she's like watching her mom and Gia do whatever, shit like that.
Yeah.
And she's listening to it in her headphones.
That would be fine.
And then it like cuts to him.
Absolutely not. We got him acoustic guitar singing solo to Rue only.
It was just so terrible. And every time I think about it, I get angry because, like, what was that?
Yeah, I know.
Whatever. Okay, we're gonna take a little break, Ski.
Cool down a little bit.
Get back. We have some fun, interesting stories to share with you all. See ya. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of All Good Choices. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to like and comment and let us know what you think.
You can stream this anywhere you stream podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at All Good Choices PC and Twitter at All Good PC.
Thanks again to Maserati Click Productions for producing this podcast. See you guys next week. Action, everybody. All right.
and we're back.
So a lot of this is completely unrelated to Euphoria, but some paranormal shit has been happening to me lately, and I wanted to talk about it.
And there we go.
So we figured.
And so we come to the second portion of our podcast.
This is why we have the podcast, to get some shit off my chest. So I figured it'd be kind of fun, little spooky vibes, even though it's not anywhere near Halloween, to talk about some fun little paranormal stories for all our ghost lovers out there. Yes.
Yes, ghosts.
Yes, come through,
serve.
Ghosts. So most recently, right, the reason why I brought this up was because me and Eli behind the camera, right, we were watching Attack on Titan, which we'd love to do an episode on. Leave a comment down below to convince Cheryl to do it. But so we watch Attack on Titan every Sunday on Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're at Eli's house. We're sitting on his bed watching it on my laptop. There's like an adapter for the headphones, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I unscrewed because it wouldn't fit into my laptop.
Okay.
And so I put it on his desk, like, I guess vertically, so it wouldn't roll off. Specifically, so it would not roll off the desk, everybody.
That's important.
Camera you. So we're sitting there. The whole episode, everything is fine. Normally, after the episode's over, we like kind of sit there and talk on Discord for a little bit, whatever. And we're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, it rolls off the desk and like lands on the ground. And I'm like,
what is this?
I want to go home. And then we're just like, that's so weird, because it was like, for all the visual viewers,
mm-hmm.
my phone, right, it's like this, like lined up, and it rolled off this way. So what the heck?
Oh, that's
that?
really weird.
Yeah, like it didn't roll off like sideways. It rolled off like all the way.
Interesting.
So we were like, bitch, what the fuck? And me and Eli talked a lot about like paranormal shit happening, and like shit used to happen to him. We should have had him on this episode.
Sorry,
we'll do a part
Eli.
2. But so we've talked about it a lot, and one of the things is that like spirits and stuff like attach themselves to objects, and he had just gotten stuff from his house. I was like, oh my god, they're coming in through the adapter.
Bye.
They've attached themselves to the adapter. But it was just super strange, and that made me think of all the paranormal stuff that's happened to me.
Gotcha.
So that's the most recent event that, I mean, it could have easily just like rolled off, but it did not sit right with me.
I feel like sometimes like when I I'll set something down and I'm like, I shouldn't set it down there, it'll fall. And then I'll go away and then it fall. Like it'll fall like 5-10 minutes later, and I'm like, see, I knew I shouldn't. Why did I even have that thought? Like it feels like somebody's like, don't set it there, like it's gonna fall. And then they're like, and they knock that shit out. Yeah, they're like, I told you.
It's the schizophrenic voices. Undiagnosed.
Because I put it down and I'm like, no, it's fine. And then I'm like, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. That
and then it just happens. I'm like, why did I?
Yeah,
why?
It could have just rolled off by itself.
But like, why do we even like think about it?
But certain things, when certain things happen where it's like easily explainable, but for whatever reason you get like a weird like gut feeling. It was like that, where like that happened and I was like, oh no, that doesn't sit right in my soul, my spirit, and my gut.
Your gut is your intuition.
Yeah, and it did not sit right. So I was like, absolutely not. I'm never coming back over here.
No.
So that happened.
Sorry, Eli, your house is haunted.
Yeah, there's something weird going on there, girl. But and then also too, I guess before I get into like the nitty gritty, some small stuff too, like random doors and stuff I've always just like closed in my house. And then there's been a few times, right? There's one time my brother was gone, but he like coughs and stuff in his room. Like I normally can hear him in his room. And so I heard coughing, didn't think anything of it, thought it was my brother. And then the next morning I woke up, me and my mom are sitting out in the living room, and I'm like, where is Matthew? And she's like, oh, he's gone. And I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? I heard coughing in the room last night.
He was definitely coughing. And she was like, girl, he was absolutely not coughing because he's not here. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Interesting point.
Yeah. And then there was one time I was in my room. I was home alone. and then I heard like my cabinet door slam, but I assumed it was my cat. So like I went out there to go into the kitchen, and my cat was sleeping on the couch. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was just like, oh, whatever. And then I went back in my room, pretended like it didn't happen.
Do you think your house is haunted, or do you think there's just like...
There's something going on there.
Okay. Like they come and go?
Maybe.
Okay.
My mom thinks that it's like my grandparents.
I could see
Because
that.
one of my grandparents died in my house.
Right. Yeah.
The other one didn't, but we had his ashes in my house for a really long time. So it could be that. I've never gotten negative vibes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's always just been like little weird stuff where I'm like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
When I was
like
younger,
it's like annoyances kind of or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
But
it's
when I was
like
younger,
big,
I could
like,
not sleep. I would wake up in the middle of the night every night and like scream for my mom because I would wake up and just feel so uneasy in that room.
I felt like that sometimes too when I was at my grandparents'. Like I would like feel like kind of like this is kind of a weird vibe.
There's something weird going on.
But I don't know if it's just like when you're a kid, you're like also more sensitive to it too. And so if they like try to reach out.
Yeah, I don't know. So,
or if it's just like you like thinking constantly thinking about things.
So I don't know. It's just super strange. So, like I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, who knows? But I've always gotten like a weird uneasy feeling when I was younger. As I've gotten older, you know, whatever.
And this is the only house you've ever lived in, right? Okay.
And like this like was house was like built like we're the only people that's ever lived there.
Right.
But so like cabinet door shut, whatever, and then didn't think anything. Like literally went on with my day, and then didn't mention anything to my mom. Then the next morning, my mom gets up at like 4:00 in the morning. So she had texted me and said, like, were you screaming last night? And I was like, no. And I was thinking back to like everything I was watching on TV, like maybe she heard that, whatever. Yeah. But I no, and I was like, no, I wasn't. Like that's super weird. And she was like, yeah, I could have swore like before I went to sleep, I heard like a female scream.
She just like casually heard you screaming and was like, okay.
Yeah, right. Maybe
like,
it was a laugh or something, but she heard like a female scream or laugh or something like that. Yeah, and then I was like, that's super strange because earlier that day I heard a cabinet shut and
you thought it was the same. Like,
same entity in my house. So just small stuff like that has like always really happened. There's just so much. I feel like one time, right? So I used to always make my mom like rub my back at night. Like I'd like lay on her lap, she'd rub my back. And so I asked her to do it, whatever, and she's like, you have these scratches on your back. And I was like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
And
I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah. And she took a picture of it. If I find it and post edit, we'll put it right here. It was 5 like horizontal scratches this
like
way.
Like big.
Yeah.
Like all across your back, right?
Where my like under like my shoulder blade, almost like that, which I don't know how I would have done that in my sleep. Or anything, how anybody would have done that to me if I was having a fun night.
Right.
I don't. It just was such weird placement.
Yeah. It looked like all like one fell swoop kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was super strange. So I had that, and like they didn't hurt or anything. They were just like 5 red lines.
Yeah.
So that was super weird, and like the way it was placed, like it definitely looked like scratches. It did not look like I was like laying on something and like left an imprint.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck that was. Yeah. But I did not like that, girl. I was like, we gotta save this bitch.
We were talking to my sister about this episode. Like we were planning for it or whatever, and she was like, oh yeah, like that, but like ghosts can't like touch you or whatever. And we were like, you never heard about the ghost like fucking you and like hitting you
girl,
and
them
shit.
Ghosts be
like,
fucking.
Yeah, like it's like they like so I don't know what level you gotta be at like on ghost tier or whatever to be able to actually like interact with a human being and like touch, you know,
right,
rather than like knocking shit off.
Exactly. How much energy do you have to invest to
but
fuck
I feel
somebody?
like you've interacted with them before.
How would you fuck a ghost?
I mean, maybe. Like, what's the difference between masturbating and fucking a ghost? I feel like that's kind of the same.
That is a interesting take.
I guess it would depend on
like, what are you even talking
I guess it's the it would depend on the ghost.
Okay, let's say girl, right?
No, I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but it's a terrible person in history that I was like, what?
Let's say, right, that a ghost, you're laying in bed. A ghost appears at the foot of your bed.
Am I looking, like, can I see them?
Yes, that's what, like, you can see them. You're talking to them. Like, you're in, like, some different realm, girl. Not just, like, a normal, like, outline.
But I can't pick it.
No, they just show up.
Okay.
And it's just, like, some guy. Just some average dude that like died in the building or something.
Okay.
And he's like,
why not?
So you would say yes.
I don't. Would it affect me? Like, would I become?
I don't know, girl. You'd be hearing the stories.
Would I become attached to
it's like the best sex I ever had.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would I not? But if it
I wouldn't even really need to see him, to be honest.
The like poltergeist vibe or whatever, I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah, I don't want that.
I would not even need to see a face.
You just
to be real.
Just be fucking.
I'd fuck a ghost, no questions asked.
That's what I'm saying.
Girl.
Like, I've probably done worse than a ghost.
Some real life living beings. Blood coursing through their veins, girl. And they did me
They're
dirty.
Probably very giving too, because I bet they couldn't.
Back in the olden days.
They probably. They knew how to please a woman.
War type beat.
No, but I'm thinking like they probably don't get like taken up on the offer a lot. So they're like,
how many living people are like, yeah, you know, like get over
screaming,
here,
freaking out,
yeah,
and we're like, that one right there, yeah.
We might be opening up some type of portal right now.
I don't know. I don't really want to test the theory, but like,
chill out.
It's like
girl.
It's like when you like talk about a threesome with your boyfriend, but you don't want a threesome for real. You're just trying to be cool,
yeah,
or whatever.
No,
that's
we're
like,
just doing the bit. It's a bit.
It's a bit.
To all the ghosts in here, but. Yeah, so off topic, but we're back on track. There's this ghost app, right? We both have experiences with this. There's this ghost app that you can download to your phone. You can probably still find it, right? It's probably fake. However, I had a very terrible experience with it that freaked me the fuck out.
You pre-tested it before all of us. You found it, and then she showed our group, and we were like, okay, we got to download it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll tell the context. One? Yeah.
Yeah.
The context, and then we'll talk about where we used it, girl.
Yeah, talk about when you tried it at your house, and then we'll talk about
this one. Everybody buckle in, because this was kind of a long one. But so it's this ghost app, right? I go through these random phases a little, like probably once a year, where I'm like, I need to connect with some spirits. Don't know why, but I just feel that vibe. So I'm like, okay. And I know there's weird shit going on in my house. So I download this app. I'm like, it's probably fake. So like me and my mom did it. Haha, shits and giggles. And so we're talking to it, and we're asking questions to my grandpa, who at the time was like dead for, I don't know, maybe a year or two. And we're asking questions, and it's answering kind of like coherently. Like it's only one word answers that come up. Mm-hmm. So we would say something, and it maybe wouldn't be like necessarily an answer to the question, but like, so like my yaya, she was born in Illinois. So like we asked a question and it said Illinois on the thing.
Right.
And so again,
they're just
we're like
pushing. You think they're just like pushing through things that are gonna like
make you
think that who they are. Yeah.
Right. But also we're thinking like it's just a stupid app. It's randomized.
It's just, okay. Yeah.
So we're like, okay, whatever. Not thinking anything crazy. So we just kind of keep asking questions, and it's like kind of like relevant to either their life, whatever. And we're like, that's kind of funny that it's like putting all these words. And then we had said something, and then the thing said ice, like it said the word ice, and we were like, okay, like this shit is so fake. But we were watching Food Network, and then the TV froze, and it was frozen on a picture of ice cream, mm-hmm. and we were like, that's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
But again, I'm still like, well, maybe it's
You're still
fake,
skeptic, kind of,
but it's weird.
Yeah.
And then we keep talking to it, it keeps saying more and more stuff that's like so relevant and close to like our lives, just like one word stuff. And we're like, bitch, what the fuck? And then I'm freaking out at this point. I don't know why I try to go hunt for this shit, because as soon as some shit happens, I'm like,
I was just kidding.
Not. Absolutely not. So I'm like, oh fuck. And then it said like hide. And I said, oh fuck no, I'm good. And so I turned off the app.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never doing this shit
I'm not about
again.
to hide in my own house.
Yeah, what the fuck? It freaked me the fuck out. So that was it. Deleted the app, whatever, right? So I was talking about it with our group of friends at the time, and Cheryl was like, obviously we were friends, and we went on a spring break trip to like Europe. Mm-hmm. And so while we were on this spring break trip, we decided, let's download the app.
Uh-huh. It just sounds really like in bad taste, but okay, keep in mind we were like 18.
The Notes app apology is coming soon, y'all.
It's like really bad, but okay, whatever. So we go on this like school trip. We go to London and Paris, right? So when we're in France, we also like make like a quick like 2-day stop to Normandy. where D-Day happened. And so they're storming the beaches, whatever. Okay, right. So we're doing all of our historic things or whatever, and then we go to like a random like part. I don't know, like a cliff or something. It's all like cliff and beach and all that, right?
I think it was the beach where like they came onto shore. The U.S. did to come save France, right?
Right. Okay. Whatever. And so there's like bunkers and shit, and like where bombs had dropped, like in the ground.
Yes.
Like cave, not caves, but
yeah, it's like where they would potentially
hide or
hiding and shit,
right?
And people would have died.
Sure. And so we were like, okay, well, there's obviously spirits here because this was like a really major world event.
So we decided, let's pull out this iPhone app in Normandy and see if we can connect.
On the beach. And we did. Yep. We were in a bunker.
We were in a bunker just with an iPhone and vibes, asking the spirits of Normandy, of World War.
And I feel like there were some things that like it said like general or like something like that, and we were like, oh, what is this? Yeah. And then like it said something else like ground or like
like relevant words.
Yeah, it was like something like where you were like, okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then it was like slowly like we were like, we gotta turn this off. Yeah. I don't want to connect with anything like that.
Right. It was super strange. Like again, most of this stuff probably it could be anything, right?
Right.
I choose to believe that it's something like spiritual. So for all I know, it's some randomized word generator that just like, to get clicks and downloads. However, I just think it's super strange that the words that were being randomized were always relevant to the situation. Yeah. So it was just super fucking strange. So just the fact that we decided, the World War happened here, let's talk to them. Super crazy. Love that for us. We've stayed true to our
that was not a good choice.
I was scared as fuck that we were going to connect with the enemy, girl.
Me too, girl. I thought Hitler was going to come through that bitch so quick. I was like, please, chill.
Absolutely not. You said it, girl, not me. I was scared as fuck.
And we turned it off and we deleted it and we were like, that's enough for me. That's enough.
But,
it's a terrible story to end on.
It's a terrible story to end on, but I think we're going to end it there. Maybe in a future episode, we'll talk more about some more paranormal stuff because I have a whole bunch on this list that I did not get to. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends.
I have one last story. It's really quick.
Okay.
My cousin, when I was like young as hell in our house, she told me that our house is built on an ancient Indian burial ground, and it was really just rats and
the walls. The tapping that you would hear.
Yes,
that's so fucked up.
I know. And we found out like years later, and I was like, all right, you're on my hit list for this one. I would be so stressed out, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I would be like in my room at night and just I thought it was this demon coming to get my ass. It's just rats. So, in conclusion, don't be a skeptic.
Don't be a skeptic, y'all. But yeah, now with that, subscribe, follow us on the socials. They're in the bio always.
Comment, turn on the notifications since we're not on streaming platforms right now. And that's
we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of All Good Choices. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to like and comment and let us know what you think. You can stream this anywhere you stream podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at All Good Choices PC and Twitter at All Good PC. Thanks again to Maserati Click Productions for producing this podcast. See you guys next week.